It's much more fun to be his friend than it is to be his enemy, because this guy is f***ing relentless.
Did you ever find out who did it?
Yeah, I knew who did it shortly after.
They are now where?
The guy who actually me is dead.
Say one nice thing about Ja Rule.
Oh, he's alive.
I was like, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now. Just flood it. Put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming. 4 months later, in the club hit and it was over. Now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tight to wave out.
I actually don't want a problem.
No, I don't think you
I don't ever want a problem. But when they say they want a problem, I say no problem.
Buzzbuster is back. Danger has followed 50 Cent for years. Attempts have been made on his life, money has reportedly been offered for his whereabouts, and now his name is again being linked to serious security concerns. This latest tension comes after his aggressive run of documentaries and released files aimed at some of entertainment's biggest figures. Curtis Jackson has already outlasted Queen's street life, a near-fatal shooting, and the brutal pressure of the music business. Now he seems to be facing a new storm, one tied to his role as hip-hop's unofficial truth-teller. To grasp why these reported threats matter, you have to look at the foundation of his story. His rise was not shaped by invented drama or exaggerated bars meant to sell records. It was marked by real incidents, documented cases, and federal attention connected to efforts to take him out. Everything traces back to May 24, 2000. That afternoon, Jackson stepped outside his grandmother's house in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. Years later, in a 2012 interview with Oprah Winfrey, he described the moment. Around noon, he walked out, got into a friend's car, and then another vehicle suddenly approached. What happened next didn't just transform his future. It sent shockwaves through rap and left a lasting mark on hip-hop itself.
Did you ever find out who did it?
Yeah, I knew who did it shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are now where?
Oh, the guy who actually shot me is dead. And the guy who paid him got life in jail.
Got life in jail.
The Queens rapper survived 9 gunshots, with injuries to his arm, hand, hip, legs, chest, and face. One round struck his jaw, costing him a tooth and changing the way he spoke for years. Still, he lived. That survival became a huge part of what made 50 Cent such a magnetic figure in rap history. Most people know the headline version. They know he was shot. They know he later turned that pain into hit records. They also know Get Rich or Die Trying became one of the biggest debut albums the genre had ever seen. What fewer people understand is who investigators believed was connected to the attack and what may have set it in motion. Federal authorities believed crack kingpin Kenneth Supreme McGriff, along with associates tied to Murder Inc., arranged the hit as retaliation for a track that described McGriff's criminal history. That record was Ghetto Quran, sometimes written as Ghetto Quran. In 2000, 50 Cent recorded the song, recounting the street dealings of drug figures from Queens, New York. The track was originally meant for his first album, Power of the Dollar, until Columbia Records pulled the plug on the entire release.
I forget, why'd the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
He was paid to do it.
He was paid to do it?
Yeah.
Who would want to shoot you?
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
It's my past.
It was a drug thing?
No,
like a
just
business thing?
It's karma.
Karma?
Karma?
Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, you was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
You are tough.
Still, the record surfaced that same year, and once it spread, it brought private street history into public view. That did not go over well with figures like Kenneth Supreme McGriff. Here's the pattern. 50 Cent put out a song that pointed directly at real people tied to real crimes. After that, he was targeted and shot. He survived all 9 shots, turned that survival into his image, and kept speaking openly. A 2003 report from IRS criminal investigator Francis Mace said authorities believe the May 2000 shooting of 50 Cent was retaliation for Ghetto Quran, a song describing part of McGriff's history as the leader of one of the city's most feared drug crews. Federal records pushed the claim even further. According to the affidavit, pager messages linked to Murder Inc. suggested McGriff was part of an active plot against the rapper and was communicating with Murder Inc. staff about the target. That wasn't rumor, it came straight from a federal affidavit. According to investigator Mace, the threat against 50 Cent didn't end with a single incident. Messages sent to McGriff allegedly showed associates monitoring the rapper's movements, suggesting a continuing plan to target him. This was far bigger than one isolated episode. Federal records pointed to what authorities viewed as an ongoing conspiracy, with a drug figure and a record label allegedly aligned against 50 Cent after he publicly revealed their alleged activities.
You know I have the resilience to go against anybody. Like, there's nobody that's too ill. Those are the guys that you would choose not to go against at that point. It's in the environment, they got, and it's not him individually, because everybody is greater in their absence than they are in their presence. His aura is stronger than he is.
The deeper investigators looked, the darker the story seemed to become. Another troubling question soon emerged. Authorities examined whether Run DMC's DJ, Jam Master Jay, was killed in 2002 after reportedly refusing to go along with an unspoken industry blacklist aimed at 50 Cent. That possibility became one of the most unsettling parts of the entire case. Jam Master Jay, born Jason Mizell, had helped guide 50 Cent early in his career during the 1990s. Mace wrote that federal agents were still trying to determine whether Mizell's killing was connected to the ongoing conflict involving McGriff and 50 Cent. Investigators were also exploring whether Mizell was targeted for rejecting that silent blacklist. In that world, the warning was clear. Nobody was supposed to do business with Curtis Jackson. Jam Master Jay ignored it. As a founding member of Run DMC and a towering figure in hip-hop, he took the risk of guiding a young rapper. And that decision may have come with a devastating price. According to 50 Cent, the shooter was Daryl Homo Baum. Baum was later killed in a retaliatory incident. Kenneth Supreme McGriff, the man accused of ordering the attack, was sentenced to life in prison in 2007 on charges that included racketeering, murder for hire, drug trafficking, and money laundering. The alleged mastermind is behind bars for life. The suspected gunman is gone. Meanwhile, 50 Cent didn't just survive, he transformed. He sold more than 30 million albums, built a major television career, and helped create hit series like Power.
50 Cent had the greatest run that I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm very aware of all the people that 50 Cent had beef with. They tried to kill 50 Cent for years. He should have died. He did not. He then had to deal with real live street beef with being blackballed. 50 Cent, as an unsigned act with no music, was getting $50,000 to perform Wangsta at clubs like Speed.
Now the story takes another turn. He has reinvented himself yet again, stepping into documentaries aimed at some of the most influential and carefully shielded figures in entertainment. His advantage was never silence. Every threat became material. Every wound became part of the narrative. The more pressure he faced, the louder his voice became. This cycle is exactly how everything led to this moment. Yet to understand the dangers surrounding those documentary files, you first have to look at the rivalry that has shaped much of 50 Cent's last 20 years, his long-running conflict with Sean Diddy Combs. That clash isn't some side story. It sits at the center of what is happening now. 50 Cent didn't suddenly decide to make a documentary about Diddy for no reason. The tension had been growing for more than 2 decades, and the project he released, along with the files tied to it, represents the breaking point after years of confrontation, pressure, and growing scrutiny. Back in 2000, one clear pattern emerged. 50 Cent brings troubling claims into the open. Powerful people push back. He makes it through, and instead of backing off, he doubles down. That same sequence played out with Kenneth Supreme McGriff, with Murder Inc., and with Irv Gotti. Now the focus has shifted to an entirely different circle, one some believes carries even greater risk than the Queen's street figures from the past. That is why people have started raising alarms about a possible new attempt on his life.
Right behind me is my grandmother's home. I came out like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, May 24th. She was bent over, actually planting flowers in the garden. And I walked over here to sit in the actual vehicle that my friend was waiting for me in. The car pulled up. On the side of us, the guy got out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it, and shot through the actual car.
What made 50 Cent especially dangerous was what came after the music. He didn't stop at rapping about the world he knew. Instead, he moved into documentary filmmaking, teamed up with Netflix, and began pulling together material the public was never expected to see. Once those files started surfacing, the impact spread far beyond entertainment circles.
Everything shifted on December 7th, 2023. That was the day executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson revealed he was developing a docuseries focused on Sean Combs. with proceeds intended for people connected to the sexual misconduct allegations involving Combs. At first, plenty of industry insiders brushed it off. For years, 50 Cent had mocked Diddy online through memes, stories, and jokes, so many assumed this was just another round in a long-running feud. The early reaction missed the bigger picture. What looked like trolling was turning into something much more serious. Long before Alexandria Stapleton was brought in to direct, Jackson was already deep into the project. For 5 full months, the team searched for insiders connected to Combs who were prepared to come forward and speak honestly. Nothing about this happened overnight. What unfolded was a deliberate, long-running investigation that moved alongside the federal government's own case involving Combs. Sean Combs: The Reckoning is an American documentary miniseries centered on the sexual misconduct allegations surrounding rapper Sean Diddy Combs, helmed by Alexandria Stapleton and backed by Emmy and Grammy-winning executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. The 4-part series premiered on Netflix on December 2, 2025. The project presents a sweeping look at the media titan, music icon, and convicted offender. Once it hit Netflix, the response was immediate. In just 6 days, The Reckoning pulled in 21.8 million views and became the platform's most watched series of its debut week. To understand how massive that is, consider this. In its first week, the documentary drew more than 22 million viewers, nearly matching the audience reached by the final season of Stranger Things. For a non-fiction series about a convicted music figure, that kind of launch was astonishing. A documentary backed by Diddy's longtime rival came shockingly close to the audience numbers of one of Netflix's biggest scripted hits. What made it impossible to ignore was the material inside. Content viewers never saw coming. Among the biggest revelations were unseen recordings captured during the 6 days leading up to Diddy's arrest. The series also features handwritten journal entries from Bad Boy co-founder Kirk Burrows, detailing years spent handling Diddy's personal and business matters.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy.
Still, the footage stood out most. Filmed with Combs fully aware, it shows an unfiltered version of him in the tense days before his arrest. As presented in the episodes, he is seen working closely with his legal and publicity teams, reacting moment by moment as developments in his case unfold. 50 Cent addressed those recordings directly. Executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson told Tudum, "I don't think you can get closer." He followed that with an even sharper line. He was documenting himself on his way to jail. When NBC News correspondent Chloe Mellis pressed Jackson on where the footage came from, he stayed guarded. Most journalists would not disclose their sources, he said. Later, Mellis raised another striking question, whether Diddy and his lawyers would only learn the videos were included once the documentary officially premiered. Stapleton pushed back, but the bigger twist may be where the video actually came from. According to the report, the material was shot by a videographer Diddy had brought in to capture his day-to-day life and mounting legal troubles for a private documentary project after his arrest. Later, a freelance third party was accused of leaking that footage. Response from Diddy's side was swift and aggressive, Deadline reported. Combs' camp blasted the Netflix documentary as a disgraceful attack. They also pointed to 50 Cent, describing him as a longtime rival driven by a personal grudge. A December 1st cease and desist letter from Combs' attorneys laid out an even more explosive claim. The letter said that around 2023, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos had approached Combs about making a documentary centered on him. Combs allegedly turned it down because Sarandos wanted full creative control. From there, Diddy's legal team argued Netflix handed the project to 50 Cent after Combs refused to go along. Their message was unmistakable. This was not just a documentary, but what they framed as corporate retaliation. Netflix pushed back hard against the rumors. According to a spokesperson, the accusations surrounding Sean Combs' The Reckoning are simply untrue. The company said the documentary is not connected to any earlier discussions between Sean Combs and Netflix and insisted the material filmed before his indictment and arrest was obtained lawfully. Producers also rejected the idea that the series was made to target Combs or settle any score. While Curtis Jackson serves as an executive producer, director Alexandria Stapleton said he did not control the creative direction. She explained that the project was brought to the team, the footage was secured legally, and all required rights were in place. On screen, the documentary follows Diddy's full rise in the music business. It tracks his climb through Bad Boy Entertainment, where he played a major role in launching artists such as the Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Danity Kane, and others. At the same time, the series explores claims from former associates who describe a troubling side to that ambition, including allegations of abuse, violence, and coercive behavior over many years.
He would do a lot of foul shit, like behind the scenes he would do some foul shit, like hating on, like doing things with people I done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you? Right. Like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
Yeah, leftovers.
Yeah.
Take your leftovers. A lot of niggas have no leftovers.
Featured interviews include people from Diddy's inner circle, some speaking publicly for the first time, including Bad Boy Entertainment co-founder Kirk Burroughs and a former assistant.
The series features voices from across Combs' world, including former Bad Boy Entertainment executive Capricorn Clark, artists such as Aubrey O'Day, Kalina Harper, and Mark Curry, along with jurors from the federal case and people who have brought civil claims against him. Director Alexandria Stapleton said Cassie Ventura's 2023 lawsuit marked a major cultural shift. In her view, it raised a bigger question. Is society finally prepared to weigh accusations involving powerful people with real seriousness and fairness? Stapleton described the filing as a kind of pressure test for the culture. Some of the most striking moments came from the jurors themselves. Although Diddy was cleared of federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges, the jury did convict him on 2 prostitution-related counts under the Mann Act. He was later sentenced to 50 months, with credit for time served. Episode 4 includes interviews with jurors 75 and 160, who explain how the panel arrived at that split decision. Kirk Burroughs, Bad Boy's co-founder, also delivers especially serious claims, alleging a long history of controlling behavior and questioning Diddy's account of the events tied to the Notorious B.I.G.'s trip to California. Burroughs flatly rejects Sean's version of events, pointing to remarks made on Can't Stop, Won't Stop. He says the claim that Biggie wanted to be there simply doesn't add up. According to Burroughs, Biggie was actually scheduled for a European press run during the very week he died. He alleges that Diddy canceled that overseas tour and kept Biggie in California instead, setting up a party in hostile territory. Burroughs further claims Biggie had no desire to remain in Los Angeles, but was pressured to stay. Not long after that gathering, Biggie was killed in LA. Throughout the documentary's release, 50 Cent repeatedly pushed back on the idea that the project was fueled by personal payback. Even with a long public feud between him and Diddy, he said this was not about settling scores. In interviews with ABC and NBC News, 50 Cent described the film as a way to amplify voices that might otherwise go unheard, saying many people trusted him to help tell their stories, and that staying quiet could send the wrong message within hip-hop.
We're losing.
Netflix releasing never-before-seen video of Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt,
Not everyone was at ease with the accusations surrounding Combs. Even as 50 Cent positioned himself as someone exposing the truth, his social media activity made it look like he was also taking clear pleasure in seeing a longtime rival under pressure. One Instagram post in particular drew attention. It showed a meme joking that he agreed to sit down with ABC News for one reason only, so Diddy might catch the interview while behind bars. The caption pushed the joke further, suggesting ABC was one of the few channels available in prison, making the whole post feel less like commentary and more like a deliberate taunt. Another revealing detail involves what viewers never saw. Following the huge response to Sean Combs' The Reckoning on Netflix, executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson disclosed that roughly 140 hours of footage were left out of the 4-part series. During a December 10, 2025 appearance on Sherry,
He hinted those unused clips could still surface. He even suggested he might upload raw footage straight to YouTube. Asked whether a second season could happen, he said the first version was constrained by its limited runtime. He accused people of selecting only the pieces that suited them, then hinted that the raw footage could be made public at any moment. No middleman, no platform control, just a direct upload.
That matters for one major reason. 50 Cent reportedly has 140 hours of video. He has already made it clear he's willing to put out material that Diddy's camp claims was taken without permission. Legal pressure from Combs' attorneys hasn't changed his approach, and now he appears ready to skip Netflix altogether and drop everything straight onto YouTube.
The documentary starts with Diddy in a hotel room talking to his staff and his lawyers about what to do about this incoming indictment, right? It's like 5 days before he gets arrested, right? And as I'm watching this, I'm like, that's curious, because this is 50 Cent's documentary about Diddy, yet there's a camera in Diddy's hotel while he talks to his lawyers.
Such a move could create even more pressure around Diddy's legal situation, especially with fresh civil cases still active and his team focused on appeals. In that sense, the documentary was never the finish line. It was the starting signal. The reckoning was 50 Cent's first strike, and the fallout that followed raised the stakes even further. If that project was aimed at Diddy, the next development widened the scope dramatically. In February 2026, the Department of Justice released a huge batch of records tied to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Those files were made public as Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. A massive document release from the Justice Department has put new attention on the Epstein case, with more than 3 million pages made public alongside over 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. This disclosure came through the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a law passed after sustained public and political pressure demanding access to government records tied to Jeffrey Epstein and his associate, former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Among the newly released material, the name Jay-Z, Sean Carter, appears in an FBI crisis intake report. The report says that on October 10, 2019, an unidentified woman contacted the FBI's National Threat Operations Center and described herself as a victim of abuse involving Epstein and others. She claimed that around 1994, Epstein harmed her during parties. She also alleged that in about 1996, she was taken from her home and later woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z. The report, which is heavily redacted, states that the woman believed the location was Epstein's Florida mansion. However, this claim was described as an unverified tip. Those names did not come from Epstein's own files, and investigators never verified them through law enforcement records. Instead, they appeared in a single anonymous FBI tip that was simply stored as part of the broader Epstein case archive. Just as important, inclusion in that material does not mean anyone was investigated. It does not suggest wrongdoing. When the records were released, the accusations inside were not confirmed as true. The Department of Justice also made clear that the collection could contain false leads, mistaken identities, and unreliable submissions, because every image, document, and video sent in by the public was turned over in the release. In plain terms, this was an unproven allegation from an unknown caller. Not evidence, not a criminal charge, not even the start of an official case. It was merely a tip line report swept into the government's massive document release because the law required those materials to be disclosed. Even so, the fallout escalated fast. The entertainment world was thrown into renewed drama when Curtis 50 Cent Jackson revealed plans for a documentary focused on Jay-Z's surprising mention in the newly declassified federal files. Jackson moved instantly. Just hours after the documents became public, the rapper turned businessman jumped onto Instagram and posted AI-made images of his longtime rival, pairing them with a message that hinted his next major project could focus on the new development. 2 edited pictures of Beyoncé's husband, Jay-Z, appeared alongside a blunt caption. "Damn, they got your man Jay in the Epstein files." He pushed the idea even further by adding, "I gotta do a doc on this," making it clear he was considering a film aimed at the Roc Nation boss.
After the huge response to Sean Combs' The Reckoning last December, 50 Cent has now shifted his focus toward Jay-Z.
His new threat is a documentary tied to the fact that the 25-time Grammy winner was mentioned among millions of pages connected to the Jeffrey Epstein files. Here's why that matters. 50 Cent already delivered one documentary that pulled Diddy into a massive public debate. It became Netflix's most watched series in its first week. With 140 hours of unreleased footage reportedly in his possession, he is now signaling a second explosive project, this time centered on Jay-Z. In the music business, few people know how to seize a moment like 50 Cent. His planned documentary appears to follow the same formula he has used before. Step into the middle of high-profile turmoil, frame himself as hip-hop's blunt observer, and turn public controversy into must-watch content while staying clear of direct legal risk. Supporters say he is willing to confront subjects many others avoid. Across social media, some have applauded him for pushing difficult conversations and placing Diddy's legacy under renewed attention. Critics, however, argue this is not investigative reporting. They see it as entertainment first, shaped by long-running rivalries and the business value of keeping audiences engaged. Analysts say Jackson understands exactly what the public responds to: celebrity drama, sharp commentary, and bold positioning. That strategy has kept him in the spotlight for years, even as music has become less central to his career. Legal specialists also note an important distinction. Appearing in tip line notes or interview summaries is nowhere near the same as facing formal charges or an indictment. When he turned his attention to Kenneth Supreme McGriff,
he survived being hit 9 times.
I forget, why did the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
He was paid to do it.
He was paid to do it?
Yeah.
Who would want to shoot you?
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
This is my past.
It was a drug thing?
No,
like a business thing?
It's karma.
Karma?
Karma?
Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, he was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
You are tough.
After he took aim at Murder Inc., federal authorities reportedly stepped in over threats against his life. Later, when he started rolling out a documentary tied to Diddy, legal warnings were already arriving before a single episode had even premiered. Now, the temperature may be rising again. He has been teasing projects connected to Jay-Z, and he is also said to be holding on to 140 hours of unseen Diddy footage. On top of that, a deleted Instagram post appeared to hint at a documentary involving T.I. In that post, 50 Cent shared a screenshot of a headline claiming he was developing a surviving T.I. and Tiny documentary. His caption pointed back to how silent he became before the Diddy documentary dropped. He wrote, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc dame? Thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're going to ask about your 20 sexual assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." Maybe it is just trolling. Still, those are serious words from someone who has already helped push one explosive documentary into the spotlight. He is not just provoking one powerful figure. 50 Cent is stirring up trouble in every direction, and the people he may be challenging are not known for staying quiet. His growing push into documentary filmmaking has placed him in a risky spot where reputations, fortunes, and even personal freedom could be affected for several powerful individuals at once. Moves like that rarely pass without a response. His past already shows what can happen when he puts names and secrets into the spotlight. Years ago, when he referenced drug dealers in his music, the fallout turned dangerous. Now the stakes appear even higher. What happens if the names involved are billionaires instead of street figures? What happens if the material goes beyond rumors and points to federal records connected to one of the most troubling criminal cases in recent American history? Those are the concerns driving questions about his safety and fueling the reports discussed here. There has always been a pattern with 50 Cent. He provokes, reveals, becomes the center of attention, and somehow endures. This time, though, the landscape looks very different from the one he faced in the early 2000s, when his conflicts were tied to the streets and the music business. By 2025 and 2026, 50 Cent is surrounded by powerful opponents. Some are convicted entertainment figures tied to enormous wealth. Others are backed by international legal teams and connected to names that surface in federal filings alongside some of the world's most influential people.
At the same time, Corey Ghost Holland filed a lawsuit over the Power series, arguing it was drawn from his real-life story and seeking $1 billion from 50 Cent. Holland also released a statement warning him over the case. Although that came from a different person and a separate dispute, it shows the non-stop pressure and confrontation that seemed to follow 50 Cent everywhere. Backing down has never really been his style. If anything, the battles around him only seemed to grow louder and more serious. Another bizarre twist came with the death hoax. In early March 2026, false reports claiming 50 Cent had died spread rapidly online, alarming fans around the world. The story was later confirmed to be completely fake, just another entry in a long line of celebrity death rumors. Speculation exploded after an RIP 50 Cent Facebook page pulled in nearly 1 million likes. By Tuesday, his representatives officially confirmed the report was false. 50 Cent is very much alive. Even so, his name just got pulled into yet another fake celebrity death story, the kind that spreads fast online and fools people for a moment. At first glance, it looks like the usual internet nonsense that famous names deal with all the time.
Viewed alongside everything else, though, the timing feels far more unsettling. There's the documentary tied to Diddy, the teased projects involving Jay-Z and T.I., the 140 hours of unreleased footage, and the Epstein files. In that atmosphere, a false report like this doesn't land like a harmless prank. It feels loaded. Maybe it was random. Maybe it was just another viral lie. Still, 50 Cent is not an ordinary target. This is someone who survived being shot 9 times. This is someone who once faced a federal assassination conspiracy. Right now, he's also openly provoking some of the biggest figures in entertainment. Because of that, the hoax doesn't come off as meaningless. It feels more like a message. The bigger picture only adds to that unease. During the Diddy trial, testimony described Combs as someone with a pattern of threatening people who got in his way. Testimony also stated that while Capricorn Clark worked for Combs, she noted witness testimony described repeated assaults she says she saw against Cassie Ventura. Clark also pointed to Combs' feud with Kid Cudi, including claims that Combs once made deadly threats during the period when Cudi was briefly involved with Ventura in 2011.
We're hearing from our affiliates who were inside that courtroom that Sean Diddy Combs put his hands together in a prayer motion, looked at the jury and said thank you, before falling to his knees. His family were in the courtroom. There was applause, cheering as well as his mother left the court. She blew kisses to supporters that have been waiting outside. Now, as you mentioned, the verdict is in and it is split on that most serious charge, 1 count of racketeering and conspiracy. He was found not guilty. That was the charge that would have carried life in prison.
Anyone familiar with hip-hop history knows Kid Cudi was far from the only artist to clash with Combs and the people around him. That raises a bigger question. If Combs allegedly reacted that strongly to a personal relationship involving Cassie, how much resentment might be aimed at the filmmaker behind a documentary seen more than 22 million times, a project many believe further damaged Diddy's image while he remains behind bars?
Meanwhile, 50 Cent has kept up a steady stream of posts about Combs online. In response, Combs' camp has labeled him a longtime rival driven by a personal grudge. His team went even further, saying it was shocking that Netflix gave creative control to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, accusing him of spending years attacking Mr. Combs. They framed it as more than a legal fight, calling it a deep betrayal of trust. According to Combs' side, he had long respected Ted Sarandos and admired the legacy of Clarence Avant. Handing over the story of his life to someone who has criticized him in public for years doesn't just seem unnecessary, it feels intensely personal. One term keeps surfacing in statements from Combs' team: vendetta. When powerful people with money, influence, and access choose that word carefully in public, it naturally raises questions about what may be happening behind closed doors. At the same time, 50 Cent has also faced a separate legal dispute involving his former girlfriend, Shaniqua Tompkins. In a June 2025 YouTube video that drew major attention, Tompkins claimed that Jackson was physically and verbally abusive during her pregnancy with their son, Marquise, and over the course of their relationship. She also alleged that she signed an agreement under pressure after 50 Cent's late manager, Chris Lighty, arrived at her Las Vegas hotel room with a man she believed was acting as security. According to her account, Lighty warned that refusing to sign would lead to serious consequences. Taken together, these claims suggest a world shaped by conflict, pressure, and constant threats. He keeps ending up in the same storm: legal threats, public claims that he uses pressure tactics, and a response that seems to be even more defiant than before. Right now, 50 Cent has placed himself in the crosshairs of several influential figures by putting out documentary material, hinting at more projects to come, and using social media to challenge almost everyone in sight. The real issue isn't whether anyone wants to see him taken down. That part seems obvious. What matters is whether those feelings have ever turned into real, direct danger. Back in the early 2000s, the answer was yes. Federal investigators recorded repeated murder plots. Authorities also claimed that McGriff arranged the 2000 attack on 50 Cent. He lived through it, and reports suggested McGriff's hostility did not end there. That history matters because it shows a pattern. The precedent already exists. What makes the current moment even more striking is that his recent moves may be seen as even more provocative than what happened in 2000. At that time, he referenced drug dealers in music. Now, in 2025 and 2026, he is creating documentaries about billionaire entertainment moguls and previewing projects tied to people connected to one of the largest sex trafficking cases in American history, including Diddy's sons. As the fallout kept growing, the Combs family made a move of their own. Roughly a month after 50 Cent's Netflix documentary about their father debuted, Christian and Justin Combs revealed a new project with Zeus Network. Their goal is simple: step forward, share their side, and challenge the narrative with a fresh docuseries. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has shown no sign of pulling back. Pressure does not make him retreat. If anything, it pushes him to go harder. What started as one confrontation now appears to be expanding into something much bigger, touching not only Diddy, but also Jay-Z, T.I., and possibly others whose names could surface in material he chooses to spotlight next. At this point, 50 Cent seems to be turning public controversy into a media machine. Naturally, the people caught in that spotlight are unlikely to stay silent. His track record makes that clear. Whenever he puts someone on blast, the response follows. The only mystery is when it arrives and what shape it takes. In 2000, it was a life-threatening attack. By 2025, it had become cease and desist letters and legal pressure. In 2026, it took a fake death rumor reached nearly 1 million people. That chaos sets up the final chapter. At this point, 50 Cent has moved far beyond music. He is not only a rapper, and he is not just a TV producer either. What he has turned into is something the entertainment world rarely sees: a one-man pressure system, using documentaries, social media, and even federal records to put powerful stories under a spotlight. Now, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is opening the new year with another major project. This time, he's teaming up with A&E on a true crime series called Gang Wars. He confirmed it himself on Instagram with a short message: Gang Wars coming soon. Jackson also posted a screenshot of an article reporting that G-Unit Film and Television is joining forces with Jonah Beckor and Jonas Bell Pashed Citizen Jones for the upcoming series. The project is being described as a raw look at America's most notorious gang conflicts, featuring unusual access and accounts that have reportedly never been shared before. That means the lineup keeps growing. The Diddy documentary, the hinted Jay-Z project, the teased T.I. documentary, 140 hours of unreleased footage, and now a new true crime series. 50 Cent isn't just making documentaries anymore. He's assembling an entire media machine built around the most controversial corners of American culture, covering everything from street conflicts to unexpected cultural flashpoints.
What he's planning now looks a lot like the formula behind his earlier projects. Taken together, it paints a clear picture. He has been steadily turning himself into hip-hop's go-to figure for documenting scandal, tension, and public fallout. Look at the track record from the past 2 years. In December 2023, he revealed plans for a documentary about Diddy. After that, he spent months locating people willing to go on the record. Eventually, he teamed up with Netflix and secured footage that Diddy's side claims was taken without permission. The result was a 4-part series that opened as Netflix's most-watched documentary in its first week.
I haven't had issues with Puffy. I don't like him like that. Like, I don't like things that he would do and make me uncomfortable.
So we're speaking on Diddy, we're speaking on Puff.
Yeah, okay. But I don't have that thing where, we ain't had anything. I wasn't sending nothing at him. Like, if it was on the street side like that, we would be actively doing things to each other. And we wasn't doing it. We live in a climate that it's not even what you did. It's what they said you did.
Right. Not long after, he hinted that another 140 hours of material still existed. Later, he floated a Jay-Z documentary after the Epstein file surfaced, suggested one involving T.I., and signed with A&E for a Gang Wars series. He also shut down talk of a LeBron James project, proving that audiences now assume no major name is off limits.
People briefly thought 50 Cent's next big move in entertainment would be a LeBron James documentary. The rumor started when a Twitter user claimed she had seen a report saying the G-Unit film and television founder was set to executive produce a project about LeBron that had nothing to do with basketball. Weeks later, 50 Cent shut the whole thing down. On Instagram, he dismissed both the post and the supposed documentary with a short caption. This is all cap. Even so, the rumor spreading so fast says a lot. It shows how people see 50 now. In the public eye, he's become someone willing to take aim at anybody. No name feels off limits. No figure seems too powerful to be pulled into his orbit. That image may be great for headlines, but it also puts more attention on him. Look at the sequence. In 2000, he released a track about drug dealers and was shot 9 times. 3 years later, he turned that survival story into a massive album and became a global rap star. By 2005, federal records pointed to ongoing plots against him. In 2023, he announced a Diddy documentary. In 2024, Diddy was arrested on federal charges. In 2025, the documentary was... When it finally dropped, it exploded into a full-blown cultural event. By 2026, he was already hinting at new documentaries focused on Jay-Z and T.I., even as he reportedly held unreleased material that could bring even more scrutiny to Diddy. At the same time, pressure kept building around him, with both lawsuits and personal intimidation reportedly following close behind. The impact of the reckoning was massive. Viewers across the world remember that 50 Cent served as executive producer on the Netflix series Sean Combs' The Reckoning, the project that rattled pop culture near the end of 2025. The series focused attention on multiple allegations tied to Diddy and further damaged the public image that had already taken serious hits. Because 50 Cent's issues with Diddy have been public for years, plenty of people saw the documentary as a personal swipe. Still, the film's director pushed a much broader message. In that view, this was never only about Sean Combs, Cassie, the accusers, or even the courtroom battle. More than that, it was presented as a reflection of the audience itself and what society chooses to accept, ignore, and amplify. We put famous people on impossible pedestals, and that may be exactly what this documentary is challenging. Alexandria Stapleton says the project should serve as a warning about celebrity worship and a reminder that underneath the image, every public figure is still just a person. Publicly, 50 Cent has backed that idea as well. Jackson said he has spent years focused on honest storytelling through G-Unit film and television, and he thanked those who stepped forward with their experiences. He also praised Stapleton for leading the project and helping bring a significant story to the screen. Still, the real mystery lingers. Is 50 Cent exposing the truth, stirring controversy, or doing both at once? More importantly, does his motivation change the value of what is being uncovered? If this documentary allows survivors to speak clearly, fully, and without being pushed aside, then it may be doing something meaningful, even if his reasons are complicated. That tension sits at the heart of everything here. 50 Cent has made mistakes before. He has used social media to mock, provoke, and target people unfairly. Even so, there have also been moments when he was right. Long before much of the music business was ready to face it, 50 Cent was already putting Diddy in the spotlight. He pointed at conduct people had quietly discussed for years but rarely challenged in public. Once the federal case began reflecting claims he had repeated for a long time, many were forced to acknowledge something surprising. The internet provocateur may have been right. At this point, he seems to be standing between two very different paths. One option is to push even harder with more documentaries, more material, and more public accusations. The other is to ease off and let the story unfold without him at the center. Based on everything we know about 50 Cent, stepping back does not seem like his style. He has framed these efforts as deeply personal, while also saying they serve a larger purpose. As he told GQ, this goes beyond a feud between two men and centers on the truth being revealed. Those close to him appear to understand the stakes. He has security, legal support, and a powerful media network behind him. Even so, no protection is absolute when someone keeps pressing this hard. Let's get into it. To understand this moment, you have to look at what Many Men has come to mean. Many Men Wish Death appeared on 50 Cent's debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, with production from Daryl Digger, Branch, Eminem, and Louis Resto. He originally created it in response to surviving the 2000 shooting,
Yet the record has kept evolving in meaning throughout every chapter of his career. After the 2024 attempted assassination of Donald Trump, the song suddenly surged again. It cracked the top 10 on the US iTunes sales chart and jumped 250% in sales across other streaming platforms. 50 Cent openly drew a parallel between his own past and Trump's, and many people viewed the song through that lens. At this point, Many Men feels bigger than music. It reflects a mindset. No matter how many people hope to see you fail, you keep pushing forward. That attitude helped build his wealth, his fame, and his reputation as one of entertainment's most successful businessmen. It also ensured he would remain under constant scrutiny. Even the documentary projects he's pursuing now seem tied to that same mentality. He is calling people out, revealing hidden details, and making it clear he has no intention of backing down.
I don't ever want a problem. But when they say they want a problem, I say no problem. That's it. It makes people feel like I want trouble because I don't have a problem with it when it comes.
Just like in 2000, the figures in his sights are not exactly welcoming the attention. What makes this moment different is how massive it has become. Back then, he was a rapper from the streets, pointing at local dealers in his own environment. By 2026, he has become a media heavyweight, publicly referencing billionaire names in entertainment while hinting at projects involving people tied to Jeffrey Epstein. Everything is bigger now. The risks are greater. The people involved carry far more influence, and the fallout could be much more serious. Choosing to skip Netflix and release content straight to the audience could trigger a huge online firestorm. No studio interference, no executive approvals, just evidence placed in front of the public. That is the ultimate power move. If 50 Cent actually uploads those 140 hours of unreleased Diddy footage to YouTube, as he has indicated, it would mark a stunning moment in entertainment. Every usual checkpoint would be sidestepped, and that is exactly why concerns about his safety keep growing. What makes this so intense is the sheer scale of what he's stepping into. He isn't challenging one person, he's confronting an entire industry, calling out figures with money, influence, and every reason to strike back. That fearless streak isn't new. It's the same mindset he carried after leaving his grandmother's home in South Jamaica, Queens, getting into a car and surviving 9 gunshots. In 2012, 50 Cent described that moment to Oprah plainly. It was around noon. He got into a car, another vehicle pulled up, and gunfire erupted. He was hit 9 times and lived through it. More than 2 decades later, the pattern hasn't changed. He still puts himself in full view. He still says the things others avoid. He still moves like someone daring the world to respond. Only the tools are different now. A song has become a documentary. A mixtape has turned into 140 hours of footage. A verse has been replaced by a press conference. Back then, the threat came from one dealer in Queens. Now, the spotlight is aimed at some of the most powerful names in the world. That's exactly why this video is called New. The warning signs are hard to ignore. After 50 Cent brought fresh documentary material into the spotlight, concerns about possible retaliation only grew stronger. History already offers a pattern, and he has never looked like someone willing to back down. Those risks can take many forms. Some may be legal, some online, some psychological, and some more direct. All of them matter. The fake death story that exploded across social media in March 2026 proved exactly how modern attacks work. In this era, damaging someone's name does not require a weapon. A viral post and a believable headline can do plenty on their own. Still, 50 Cent has faced far more serious pressure before. He lived through being shot 9 times. He endured reported federal murder plots. He pushed through industry-wide blacklisting and kept moving forward. Each setback became momentum for whatever came next. The same man Kenneth Supreme McPress, the allegedly targeted in 2000, now sits atop a growing media empire, pulling back the curtain on some of entertainment's most guarded secrets. Naturally, the figures tied to those stories are paying close attention. When Sean Diddy Combs became engulfed in major legal trouble, it already looked like a stunning downfall. While Diddy was dealing with his legal battle, another pressure point was building in the background: his long-running feud with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. For 50 Cent, this isn't new territory. Risk has followed him for years.
dating back to his youth in Queens, and he understands better than most that the consequences only grow as the spotlight gets brighter. That brings us to the central claim of this video, a new alleged attempt to silence 50 Cent after he shared fresh documentary material. The term assassination doesn't point to just one kind of attack. Sometimes it suggests a threat to someone's safety. Other times it describes efforts to damage a person's reputation through court filings, public accusations, or coordinated narratives online. In today's world, false reports, misinformation, and legal pressure can all be used to undermine someone's voice and career. According to this framing, 50 Cent is being hit from multiple directions at once. With his documentaries moving forward, the people who feel exposed may see a lot at stake, including legal warnings from Diddy's attorneys and public remarks portraying him as an enemy. A storm has followed 50 Cent for years. Fake death rumors spreading online, massive legal battles worth billions, warnings tied to former drug figure pins, and whatever may still be unfolding out of public view. That is the price of refusing to stay quiet. It is what can happen when someone challenges the most influential names in the room. After surviving 9 bullets, he did not treat survival as the finish line. Instead, he turned around and set his sights on revealing who was behind it all. One fact has shaped his entire story. The people who wanted him gone did not succeed. Since that moment, he has built a career around proving it. Music came first. Television followed. Business expanded his reach. Now, documentaries are pushing him into another phase, one that is sending shockwaves through the entertainment world. He has made it clear he is far from finished. With 140 hours of footage, more documentary projects ahead, federal files still being released, and a platform that can reach millions in seconds, his next move could be even bigger. Pressure has followed him for decades. It was there in 2000. It was still there in 2003 when he recorded the track. By 2005, federal records had already confirmed the alleged plots. Nothing changed in 2024 when his documentary was revealed. The same tension remained in 2025 when it finally premiered. Even now, in 2026, he's reportedly sitting on enough footage and documents to keep the entire entertainment world on edge for years. What happens next is the only mystery. Can the people who want to stop him actually do anything? The record so far says no. Time and again, 50 Cent has lived up to the label the internet gave him long ago: indestructible. Still, history carries another lesson. The more visible the figure, the greater the pressure when the spotlight turns harsh. Right now, 50 Cent stands as one of the biggest targets in entertainment, and he seems to have accepted that role by choice. Throughout his career, he has invited confrontation and kept moving forward. Every challenge has either missed him completely or only made his comeback stronger. The documentary material is out there. The footage is real. People have been called out, and 50 Cent, the survivor from South Jamaica, Queens, is still standing. He lived through May 24, 2000, and ever since, he has kept speaking, kept revealing, and kept refusing to fade into silence. Whatever this latest move is, physical, legal, or online, it feels like another turn in a saga that began 26 years ago, when 9 bullets still weren't enough to stop him. History suggests the pattern won't change. He's not disappearing anytime soon. The documentaries will keep moving forward. More records will surface. The people who want him gone will keep watching from the sidelines, hoping for a different ending. Yet 50 Cent has built his image on doing 3 things over and over: enduring, exposing, and coming out on top.
Now the real question is, what happens next? When the 140 hours arrive, when the Epstein documentary appears, when the T.I. project takes shape, when the Gang Wars series launches, and when the next wave of federal files drops, with 50 Cent already on Instagram, caption ready, camera rolling. That's the reality now. A world where a man who survived 9 shots still controls the conversation. In entertainment today, few documentary creators feel as fearless as 50 Cent. It's almost unbelievable to think that the same man who survived a deadly threat in 2000 is, by 2026, pulling back the curtain on some of the world's richest figures. Somewhere along the way, Curtis Jackson erased the old boundary between rap star and relentless investigator. Even his name says it all. 50 Cent was chosen to symbolize change. He's delivered exactly that.
and the business is still reacting. Don't go anywhere, because he's far from finished. If you're still watching, share your take in the comments, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're ready when the next 50 Cent file lands.